That's how it is.
I don't know how to change the camera. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear?
Thank you for joining us for another edition of Issuenite. We come to you, we're live streaming now on YouTube, and there's a button called subscribe. I'm not going to spell it, but I think you can find it. Please click that. There's another bell, right, Mike?
Yeah, ring it. Just ring it.
Fair enough. And if you've never seen the show, we talk about important, serious issues of the day, current issues, sometimes educate, we sometimes explain things, and then sometimes we talk about things, but it may not be explaining or educating. Mm-hmm.
True.
Why don't we get on? Before we get on our next set of issues, Mike, you have a song, a world premiere. Am I right about that?
Yeah, actually, got a world premiere song coming out next couple weeks.
2 weeks? Is that couple mean two? Or are we talking three? Or I mean, people say couple, and you think it's two, but it's not. It might be three.
I mean, Jay, yeah. So,
okay. So, all right. So, you're gonna sing the song now, right?
I could.
Yeah. Well, we have time. We budgeted time for you to sing a song. So,
I mean, I don't want to steal the thunder, but I mean, I will. I mean, I guess I could sing the song. This is the world. No, thank you. This is the world premiere. You can hear it a couple weeks of my new album. It's a hit single called Yeah. It's called that. So here I go. Here we go.
Is it over, or is that all, or?
I'm trying to pinpoint the genre.
You'll
kind
think
of a
African crazy man.
It's got some reggae to it.
Kind of a new age mix.
I don't really like new age. I don't really. If this is crossover, that's not on purpose, Tony.
Song, yeah.
I feel like it's more Airbnb.
A little bit of coffee flavor to it.
Coffee talk. Well, yeah. So I mean, that's just a preview. I mean, I have with the drums and the bass J, and the oboe. Really, really good. I mean, it really went great.
Do you need to add an oboe to that?
I'm looking forward to the oboe.
Ebo. Okay, that's all. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the support.
Okay, why don't we get on our next set of issues that don't have it pulled up. Oh, I do have it pulled up. Okay, here we go. Would you like to call
New York State Update?
New York State Update. So again, we try to inform people, keep people up with the legislative process. So we have new, I think, Mike, legislation from New York State coming down.
Yeah, Jay, I think we have, new legislation coming out from New York State. Hochul would like to remove all the water in New York State, all water in New York State to help decrease pollution in our waters.
Oh, because there's pollution in the water.
Right.
So if we get rid of the water, then there's nothing to pollute.
That's exactly right. So it's going to start with draining Lake Erie, Jay. Completely all of Lake Erie, Niagara Falls, pretty much all water. Any kind of, if you have a creek by your house, it'll be drained.
So creeks and ponds, things that lead into the lake,
anything that has water.
Lake, okay.
All right, we have wells, so I take it
drain them dry.
Yeah, I mean wells could be polluted, right?
Wells can be polluted with anything, any kind of chemicals that you have, Jay, that you might be dumping oil down, your car. You work in your car, you dump oil down the water well. I'm just saying, they're gonna
not him, just kind
not
of
him, just in general.
Yeah,
Not
kind of a parent.
So it's logistically. There's a lot of factors here. Logistically, Jay would like some of those cashews, so that you gotta you can't. It's etiquette. You can't just hold on to the cashews. The whole thing growing. So logistically, how do you move like millions of gallons of water out of the lake? And then how do people drink water? How do you get water? Because things are going to dry out.
I mean, that might be the solution. You just drink it all, right? If you drink all the water, like out of your well, then there won't be any water in your well.
If you drink all the water out of your well, there won't be any water in your well.
Right. So that might be a good solution. I mean, that's
stop the peanut. Yeah. Those are like $10 each. One of those are like 13 cents each.
Do you have to eat them?
You don't have to eat them if you want to. So the well. So anyways, my point. First off, you got. Is this a good idea? I mean, do we want this, Jay? Is this smart?
Here, I have a picture up there. I mean,
so gotta find that.
We need to let people know. This is
web. There we go.
No, wrong one.
No, I'll click.
There you go. Got it.
There's water. Okay. I saw water in that one.
That now this is kind of what's going to happen. You're gonna have a tap there. You're gonna flick it open, and nothing's gonna come out.
Oh.
So, I think if we're okay with that, I think this is a great plan. I think it could work. My question is, will I get the water back? Right, Tony? I mean, after you used to filter water, right? You used to be involved in testing and that. So, when you're done with testing the water, did you return it to the customer? What did you do?
No, that's a good question, though. I mean, if we get rid of all the pollution, can we eventually get our water back? But, to the initial question, it seems like a good plan. I mean, if I were in Albany living in, a glass box or whatever they live in, and that might seem like a good idea to me. That's if the polluted water is a problem,
right?
Let's get rid of the polluted. Get rid of the water.
Yeah.
No more polluted water.
Right. Okay. So
solution solved.
There's a risk we might not get it back.
Yeah, but but then I guess these companies are dumping all these toxic chemicals into the lake. So then are we just left with the lake of toxic chemicals with no water?
Well, you have to find someplace else to put your toxic chemicals, right?
Right.
And Jay, I mean, if you're not able to keep the pollution out of the water, do you really want the water back anyways?
Well, I mean, if I want a glass of water, or if I want to shower, or if I want to cook,
you won't have water to do that, Jay.
Okay, so I need a substitute.
Oh,
right, for that, or did they not get that far? Are they like, hey, we're just taking the water and then we'll take this one step at a time?
Hand here.
Yeah.
You don't have to raise it. Just you're talking in the mic.
Yeah, I propose tomato juice, personally.
Oh.
I feel like that'd be the best.
Okay, but that's fine. You could have bottled water or bottled tomato juice, whatever you're gonna have. But you can't wash yourself in tomato juice. You can't wash yourself.
I beg to differ. I've done it.
Okay, it's weird.
All right. So Buffalo Lifesavers says you can put toxic chemicals at my neighbor's house. So will they give us then, Tony, the toxicity back, the water back, and then they're like, you got to deal with this, you got to dispose of this?
Well, I don't know if they've addressed that really. I mean, how do you end something like that? I don't think they thought that far ahead. I mean, do you divvy it out like as you prove that your well's no longer polluted? Do you get the water back individually, or is it going to be like a statewide thing all at once?
Well, they're going to try to do it all at once, Tony. They're going to try to get. You mean you're talking about getting rid of the water or getting it back?
Both. I
okay.
mean, you got.
Well, they're going to get rid of it all, and I think California wants the water, so they're pretty much going to create a pipeline across the United States to try it. But I mean, it's going to take some time to drain. I think Rowan, you had a picture of that's what's going to happen in Niagara Falls. Eventually.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you can. It's an artist rendition, but that's what's going to happen to Falls. So you're going to go there and.
Well, I think part of the reason it's like that, so they're saying we're taking all your water, And Niagara Falls might be one of the last places. So people are like, well, I need water, so I'm going to go to Niagara Falls, and I'm going to get a siphoner, right, Tony? You can rent those.
Yeah, oh
and
yeah.
like 1,000-gallon trucks.
Dollar store kind of
Okay.
pumps.
All right. And they're going there, and that's why Niagara Falls looks
They
like
got
that.
the ones that you can hook up to like a drill and spin
Right.
around.
Yeah,
Little
big drill.
hoses.
Big drill with.
Well, yeah,
Niagara Falls,
I mean
but-
bigger drill for bigger waters.
All right, so do I have to go to Niagara Falls? Where can I go to get my water now?
Well, you can't, Jay, and pretty much you're not going to be able to really. You can probably drink water, but you really don't get water, so you can't bathe.
What if it rains? Can I take that water? Because I might just do
it
that.
won't be raining. I mean, they pretty much have eliminated the somehow. I don't know what they're doing, Tony, to get rid of the rain.
Yeah, I
State.
mean they're working on that until it's fully enacted. Because again, they didn't think about that either. But
Right.
they legislated no more rain, but haven't figured out how to do it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, Jay, if you want to catch the water in your mouth, but just don't let it hit the ground, don't let it get back into your well. Collect it immediately and consume it.
Right, because they will come by and empty your well, New York State well.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll get rid of the water. We're already getting rid of natural gas, so we won't have that. We're getting rid of all the problems, really.
Pretty much, if you eliminate people, water, food, and shelter, clothing, pretty much you've eliminated all problems.
Yeah.
Like with people,
Um,
clothing, shelter, water.
Mike, I like water.
Okay, well then you need to, contact your congressman, woman.
Person.
Well,
person.
okay, so
People.
say we go down to Erie, Pennsylvania, we go to Chick-fil-A, and then we're like on the way back, we're like, hey, we're gonna pick up 50 gallons of water.
Okay, that's in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
And-
can do
and
that.
Can
You can
you
do that.
can you bring it back?
No, you can't bring it back. You can carry
Well,
it
you
all
got-
the way
it's-
to the line.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to the airport. When you get to the line, you gotta drink it real fast, consume it before you cross the line.
Jay, you bring up a good point. How are the businesses going to suffer from this loss? McDonald's, Wendy's,
Well,
Burger King.
Friendlies.
You can't ask for water when you go in the restrooms. I think you pee into a hole like a latrine, like in the old days. It's just going back to the old days, and the old days they had hand sanitizer, so you're going to be using that on your hands, and then your pop. Are they taking that water out of the pop, or can we?
It's
have the wa-
carbonated, so I think you're okay. Anything carbonated is not water.
Okay.
Okay. So that actually, I think the businesses are going to like this. So I can't go into Mighty Taco anymore and say, yeah, I'll take 3 hot tacos and a glass of water, right? Because
Yeah.
they can't give me water, so I got to buy, the RC Cola or whatever brand that they're selling,
Yeah.
and then they'll make more money. So I think I think there might be some widespread support for this
But
issue.
there's also a major drawback. If they're doing latrines in their bathrooms, well, a latrine fills up. And the common practice was just to move the outhouse or latrine. So they're just going to have to move the whole McDonald's.
How
every
old are you?
time it
How do you
fills
know
up.
this?
He remembers.
I was back.
Okay. So, all right. So, just know when you go into McDonald's, it's going to be a little different. Okay. So if you need to use the restroom at home, don't try to use the restaurant one. I think we're going to have problems.
The bathroom's the least of the concerns, Jay. I mean, how are we going to drink water? How we, what are we going to do? And so, I mean, I would
We're
say. Well, go ahead.
Well, we're going to have to drink the carbonated water. I mean, that's just what.
Right.
But Wegmans got rid of their pop. Like, there's no.
No woo.
There's
No woo anymore.
W.
Woo.
Wow. Yeah.
No
or,
W pop, right?
Yeah.
I noticed that. I was
you
there.
know, W grape. W.
You notice that the water. I'm sorry, Jay. The water's less. There's less water bottles.
W pepper.
Less water bottles on the shelves because they're preparing.
W lime.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think we're going to solve this tonight, but why don't we get on our next
Good start, though. Good job by the legislature and the governor.
All right. Our final issue we have is, did it come up?
No.
Oh, there. I guess I got to press on. American history issues. And again, occasionally on the show, we try to educate. So we're going to go and take a look at history that we need to retake another look at in case something was incorrectly stated. So, Tony, what do we have today?
Yeah, so we want to set the record straight. There's been a lot of kind of, what do they call it when you re-engineer the past kind of stuff. So we want to bring it back. They found some original documents, diaries of Lewis and Clark expedition, and the stuff they're telling us in the schools isn't right. So you guys remember them, right?
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, good band.
Right.
Kids.
Yeah. But the further back, the explorer people.
Yes, the explorers. Yep.
Yeah. So what were you told, like in school, about these guys?
Well,
They founded America.
Not the founder fathers.
there
No.
was a like a ship sank,
Well,
iceberg.
I think.
Titanic.
There was like
no.
it was
No,
like
it's not that.
people
Talking to my.
3-string violin.
No, I think Lou was the first explorer. I believe Clark was the second one. So that's why Lewis and Clark. I think
He
Lou was
went first.
And
They
Clark-
had the
Clark
meal.
followed.
They had the meal together.
The
They
meal
had the,
deal.
they had the meal plan, I
You know,
believe.
something
Yeah, it's like $5 meal, the Lewis and Clark special. But
So what do you know? Tell us about. Just refresh people who
No.
don't know about Lewis and Clark, Tony.
so the story goes that they got on a boat or something and picked up Sacagawea.
That's wrong, Tony.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. This is what we're being told, and it's obviously not true.
That's not it.
As a main studier of Lewis and
Sorry.
Clark as myself,
Yeah.
I would just like to say one thing. Nothing you've heard so far about Lewis and Clark is true whatsoever.
Oh,
They did not travel west. They traveled down.
south. It would be south.
Yeah, south. Sure it's not north?
South.
Okay.
South.
And they went to Florida,
Oh,
and they bought themselves a condo. And
of
well,
course.
one thing, there was no Lewis. All right, that was a
What do you mean
figment.
it's no Lewis?
And then, it was a figment of Clark's imagination. He was very lonely, so he decided to write a diary having Clark,
Oh,
Lewis.
imaginary friend.
Yeah,
Sure.
Oh,
and
All right, so wait, which one was imaginary? Was it Lewis or Clark?
that's
Was
yet to
it-
be decided. Some say that they're both imaginary.
now but what was the, okay? Originally, what was the history, Tony, of Lewis and Clark? What happened?
So they're gonna go west. They went up the Mississippi,
Right.
and then like down the Columbian River.
Right, that's
and,
where they met Magellan. Go on.
Right.
Sacagawea. Yeah.
Wait, why? So they're exploring west. I mean, and they're trying to get west, and they're going
Right.
up the Mississippi. I mean, they could take a train from. I mean, you can get one from Atlanta. You can get one from Georgia. Why aren't they taking the train? Why are they exploring? I don't get that.
they were
Well,
broke.
Yeah. I mean, you get those passes, those free passes,
Express.
white
Easy pass.
water rafting kind of
Easy.
stuff.
Easy
and-
raft.
Yeah. So as a professional, you can get these free perks on the river, and then you write a description, and that kind of pays for your passage. So they give them to you for free.
So when did they meet Sacagawea?
The Scajaquada?
Yeah, when did they meet the Sacagawea?
Well,
That-
it's
Yeah, I don't know if that was completely true either.
there's actually new studies proving that Sacagawea was secretly a Teletubby.
That finally makes sense. It never made sense before.
Which one? Which color? The red one?
The pink one.
Pink, red, yeah. Okay.
I don't even know if those things were real. Mike, can we bring up this picture?
I don't know, Jay. I've been trying to put things up. Web.
we can't bring it up.
Oh, it keeps on going. Oh, there it
Alright,
goes.
here we go.
Alright.
So it looks like this is Lewis and
Clark.
maybe his imaginary friend Clark, who seems to appear there. And Sacagawea is pointing.
Go
Not
that way.
sure.
That's west, I think. She's
Yeah,
pointing west.
She might be pointing to the train. Like, you don't
Oh.
need to walk. There's a train right there. And, they have food service. There's internet. There's whatever. Like, the train is that way. And I don't know if they're buying that. They're kind of like, I don't believe you. But
So she's a Teletubby, but she's got the blanket over her.
Yes.
You can't
kind of
tell.
a
Yes.
disguise.
So
Okay.
she's got like a TV under her tummy there.
And Lewis and his imaginary friend Clark, or Clark and his imaginary friend Lewis. Yeah. They gave up halfway through their journey. They stopped at
Yeah.
Kentucky,
And that's when
had some Kentucky
yes.
Fried Chicken, and headed south.
Right.
They found some tourist magazines and painted some.
I remember that's when Veragano Vespucci met them, and I think they started a band together.
Oh.
We have to get to some of the people, their comments. So, Buffalo Lifesavers, Tony might have a point. If they went west, why is the Skajactua named after her? Maybe Buffalo is as far as they go. Well, Skajactua does go west. So,
East-west, yeah.
East-west.
yeah, and it's if you look at a map, the Skajactua is in
kinda
the shape
turns.
of her.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in the shape of
Her Teletubby.
Sacagawea.
Oh, right.
The Teletubby.
Yeah,
right.
her tummy.
Maybe. Yeah,
Teletubby.
like
Tummy.
Tubby. So, and then Jackson Dynamite. Not sure what that means, but I always knew it. You know, Teletubbies. He's kind of, I don't know, he's a little
He's freaking out,
perturbed,
yeah.
freaking out.
So
about
when
that.
did they discover America? I mean, when did? Well, I guess it's just Lewis, right? Clark didn't do it.
They
When did-
swam a lot.
Well, so she's pointing like America's there.
Right
It's
there.
You don't
See,
need
guys?
to.
Right
You don't
there,
need
yeah.
to explore it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a train
because
with maps.
yeah,
I-
they actually ended up in Canada. And
That's
so
like
she's
that-
Wait,
try-
Yeah. That's
so
the
the-
Niagara River.
Tony,
right
how
there.
did they get from Florida to Canada?
Express. They took the express, but so actually, parts of Canada belong to us because we discovered
Which
it.
parts?
The parts they were at.
Yeah,
In,
all of them. The that guy there wearing the rug, I believe and he's got a sickle and hammer. I believe he's Russian. See behind his
Right.
back, he's got a hammer sickle on the moon.
Yeah.
And he's wearing red. It's
Yeah.
not-
So
this-
if you go up to Canada and go across, you end up in Russia.
You do.
Yeah. So parts of Siberia are now being claimed by the United States.
Mr. J, is there a man sitting, and is Clark? I believe that's Clark in the red.
I gotta get.
He's holding like some sort of musket and is like firing squad at the blue man sitting on the rock. He's facing away. He's not looking at them. Is this some sort of betrayal? Is that what is this?
It's a good observation, but the musket rifle is actually aimed in the opposite way.
True.
And he appears to be looking at, the way his eyes are shaped, more like at an animal rather than the guy there.
Right.
But good observation.
Let me just say too, I don't believe any of these people have like taken the class, where you're supposed to point your gun. Like, they're all just like it's over their
true.
back, shoulder. I don't know if the class existed, Tony, for like safety, but these guns are pointed all
Yeah,
over
it
the
was
place.
done a little differently back then.
I think
so
that's
a
why
little,
only-
a little more informal.
I think that's why only Sacagawea, Lewis, and his imaginary friend Clark survived the journey.
I wonder if the Russian rug guy gave that blue guy, the French blue guy, his rug. I don't know. They're both wearing rugs.
Probably bought it off Craigslist.
Yeah. No. I don't know. He's got a sickle. You're right. He's got a hammer. He's got a
He's got a
sickle.
hammer sickle behind his back.
He's trying to establish some communism. I don't think it worked.
Still-
Yeah, she
they're still
have
trying.
none of that. Yeah.
They're still trying today.
You just join us. You're watching Issuenight. And unfortunately, that's all the issues we have. So, yeah,
But
just
stay
thank you
tuned for
again.
another show coming up real soon. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. We're coming real soon.
Are you?
All right.
forget
All right. Don't
watch
forget that
us.
season premiere. World premiere of my song coming up.
We're coming.
Some good stuff there.
Yeah.
This is the show. That's the first show. Where this is in between. This is the in between. You got the molecules that man is 98% air.
Space.
We're named
Yeah.
air and like
So this is the 98%.
this 90 is the other 80. Yeah. So this
is
is good stuff. I didn't know
space.
that history. Some of the stuff history you guys.
Yeah, we're straightening things out.
next?
Yeah. So yeah, talking like more.
Mark, can you
Ron.
zoom in on my camera?
I can, Jay. Because you want to see more of you, or what's the deal?
No.
Is that
No,
good?
it's
Oh, that's
just- it
much
was a
better.
little
Gaining
wide.
weight.
Now, see,
Wow.
now it looks,
It's a little blurry.
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
There's another carbon footprint issue, right?
Wow.
It's not. Did your wife tell
Right.
you guys?
Always, yeah.
I'm not
She'll let us know. She also said I can see Russia from my house. That was good Sarah Palin reference.
I'm working
on
on
it,
Jay.
Well, we go out like a tad too.
I need the focus first.
Yeah.
What issues do we got next?
We do have to revisit some water issues, Niagara Falls specifically. There's a legislative update, and then there's a education update, I think, is our three issues. So that seems like a good order, right? I mean, as far as importance for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
Okay.
on.
I think so.
Jay.
Yeah, you think the lens got something on it. Did the dog lick it? Because
Well, the dog is here.
so
Hey,
he did eat. He
yeah,
did eat
we're
one of
gonna-
my cables.
Tony, what would you call the thing
Let's go to
that
the
they're
lives.
giving
so
Here.
while we're not
Everyone,
here, there's a
no
dog that
reason.
roams around this garage. And look at
Degrees.
this. So
a degree?
So-
Shoot, he did eat it.
look at
Sorry.
that. So he ate
He
a
ate my-
cable. He ate
ate my
Look at
cable.
that. Look at this tie. He like put a whole like eight
Yeah,
right
you can't
through
do
the
this.
tie.
That's not his focus.
So
Those are
that's the dog
big-
that
big
lives in
mice
the
here.
garage. Don't leave ties out. Don't leave cables.
You
out.
left that tie in my basement for 20 years and no dogs ate it. I'm just
Well,
saying.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that tie.
You had a gerbil. Remember that, Tony? You had a
better.
hamster down there,
All right.
and then it died. I don't think you knew it for like a week. It like stunk. Or like, why does it stink
we
down
didn't
here?
tell. We still haven't told the kids.
All right, listen. This this was like
Nice, Tony.
this thing was like we're gonna start the next show. This was like $10. We're just
I
downing
know.
these.
That's good.
It's so good though.
All right, so are we ready? What's next? What are we doing next show, Jay?
Tony just went through it, but
I wasn't listening. Okay.
I have no more pictures.
we have a Niagara Falls issue, another New York State update, and then we have university update.
Do you want more pictures, Dad?
Oh, nice.
No.
one.
Okay.
Careful, a little oil.
What?
All right, Jay, you're gonna have to do pictures from you because I have to cut Rowan off because I think it's making your camera go out of focus.
I think I have pictures from most
All right,
of this.
ready?
So, yes.
All right. All right, I don't remember the order, but okay. I'm ready to go. Ready?
All right.
Starting here. Stand by. Ready with the Issuenight logo
Yep.
fly? Okay.
Wow, wow, wubsy, 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 wow, wow. Issuenight,
And Jay. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Issuenight. Wonderful to be here. And if you've never seen this show before, we talk about important, serious, up-to-date, current, relevant,
Issues.
homogenous issues. If you see a subscribe button, click that. If there's a bell on there,
If you ring the bell, you'll be notified when we start.
how do you ring it though,
If
Mike?
you- listen,
with the mouse?
I don't know. There's a way to do it. But
do
if you
double
don't,
click, do you single click? Do you like click and hold it down? Do you
I don't
right
know
click?
what I don't know what you have to do for
I think
Google,
you click
YouTube.
it and then you like shake it.
So the thing is, if you do subscribe, if you hit the bell, then you'll be notified. If you don't, if you hit subscribe, you might not be notified. I don't know why. If I subscribe to something, I don't know why I would be notified, but that's the truth. Do both. Okay.
Fair enough.
I don't see either.
Okay. I don't know where it is
All
either.
right. First set of issues we like to call Niagara Falls.
Niagara
Oh,
Falls.
sorry. Here.
Oh, sorry. Here.
Niagara Falls issues. Tony, what are we talking about?
Well, apparently, some legislation happened, and they sort of tried to drain the water out of the state, and of course, it all came back, the Great Lakes and stuff, and they realized it's probably better to have water, but there's really not enough water going over the falls.
Oh, we don't have that picture, do we?
Oh, I
we had
have
last
it,
time?
but you guys
I don't know.
cut me off.
Try
Okay.
it. I think Jay's out of focus
Okay.
anyways. Doesn't really matter.
All right. So now we don't have enough water for the falls, and that's cutting in the business because people are going there and they're like, "Wait a minute, I'm not looking at enough water."
There's
So I'm
nothing to
gonna leave.
look at here, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, you got the lights, you got the build up, and then not much water.
Yeah, I think the
So-
only thing down there are like bears that are like rummaging through some garbage that they're like the
scrounging around.
Yeah, they're
Looking for-
dumping the garbage off the cliff, and and people are coming to see the bears.
That's not it.
Which is okay. I
there it is.
mean, it's good to, if you're
Yeah.
getting people there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that you can only look at bears so long. You
True.
can look at water, all day. So
All right, Mike, if you go back to that,
Yeah.
okay, so
that's pretty dry. That's
yeah,
yeah.
so people don't want to see it. They don't want to see rocks. They don't want to see bears going through garbage. So, all right. So fair enough. So how are we going to get water back into the Niagara River? What's their big plan?
Well, they don't really have a plan, so they're looking for ideas. So I think that's where we come in with ourselves, our own ideas, and our viewers. So one suggestion was, well, we live in Buffalo. There's a lot of, disappointment. So if we just every time we get disappointed, we cry, shed some tears.
I remember the '90s and the Bills.
Yeah.
Wide right.
Yeah, no goal.
Too soon.
And stuff like that. Yeah, too soon. So I don't know how much we can generate. I mean, it's a constant flow, so that would help.
I heard that you could also dig backwards from Lake Ontario, so that you get the backwash
From the lake.
Ontario.
Okay, yeah.
You just have to, when you get to Niagara Falls, though,
lower the
you would-
falls to equal the height of the.
or it just floods the whole place.
I heard they were gonna have like water drives, like bring your bucket of water, save Niagara Falls, and
you just dump it over.
you
take
just
your
dump
bucket
it
and
over, and they'll have
a line.
a plaque and it says your name. You dumped water, Niagara Falls.
So a contest, who shows up with the most water.
Yeah. So we have a picture, if we can show. There's a guy.
Maybe. There you go.
Who,
Suck it to it. There you go.
He got water from wherever, and now he's putting it back in the Niagara River. And
Oh.
I mean, it's
Good for him.
It's kind of Niagara River minus the mountains, and the nice
So
water and
is he
the nice
pumping
trees.
it into the water, Jay, or is he pumping?
We're not
it
really
out
sure. I mean, he kind
of
of
the water.
he kind of ran off. I mean, after they snapped this picture, so we don't know.
He didn't want credit. For,
Did he? Well, or was he taking the water out? We don't know.
Yeah,
but,
no, we can't
I mean,
say that.
we don't accuse people on the show. Just so you know, we're not accusing this man of doing something
But this
wrong.
guy definitely did something
Even
wrong.
though he's got a siphoner and looks like he's sucking it out.
I mean,
There's pretty good evidence.
I don't want to point fingers,
we
but
don't.
this guy
We do
definitely
not.
took
We
water.
do not assume. We are open-minded.
Yeah, we're not assuming at all.
Yeah.
But I'm sure of it, though. I'm not assuming. I'm sure he stole the water.
Okay.
And so some of the other ideas are so comets are actually like big balls of ice that fly through the the sky, or the sky,
I
but
thought he's one of the reindeer.
yeah, that too. And so what they're thinking is that maybe Comet the reindeer can lead Comet the comet back into Lake Erie,
I thought Comet was a cleaner.
and then if the comet ends up in the lake, it'll dissolve or
wait,
melt.
I thought it was a ride.
You
at
mean
Coney
comma, like comma after sentence?
Yeah, so each one of those broken up by a comma lands. So I think what they want to do is build a giant like bullseye, for the comet to bring the comet to the lake, and then the ice will
So
melt.
it's going to be melting. It's going to hit the planet. It's going to wreak destruction and havoc all over the the whole
But we'll
United
have
States.
Niagara River.
Will be covered in soot and block out the sun for many years.
We'll have Niagara
But
River.
somehow there'll be seeding of water for rain.
We'll have Niagara River.
Well, if we can get there and see.
We don't need to see. We'll just know.
All right. The problem is if, like you were saying, Mike, if you use the wrong comet, we could have comet cleaner in the river.
We could.
We probably don't want that.
No.
It's like flammable. It's noxious.
Or you could have what are those things, Jay? Things that go up and
rubber
down.
bands.
Well, you fly, you go up and down, and you turn and around.
Butterflies.
Yeah,
Hummingbirds.
They can do that. Those guys can do that, but you're kind of riding it, and it goes up and it goes down.
Roller coaster?
Yes, that's it. Roller coaster. Thank you. And so you could have a roller coaster. I mean, it could be the roller coaster comet that comes flying at the United States. I don't know what kind of damage a roller coaster can do when it slams in into the earth at 26,000 miles. an hour.
Or, as they're waiting for the water to fill back up, they put a plastic roller coaster on the side of the now dry Niagara Falls, and to have people ride the roller coaster down, spin around,
Wow.
go in Lime Man's cave, come out.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
you know
Awesome.
what?
That's not a bad idea.
Jake's got a great idea. So if we go back to the picture,
This one.
yeah, no, the other
No,
one.
this one. that one.
So, I guess in Niagara River, there's scenic mountains there. I've never seen them. I've been there probably 300 times, but I've never seen it. But anyways, Jake is like, why don't we melt all that snow and get it in the river? You know what I mean? If you melted it should come down the mountains.
Yeah.
It should get in that river.
Yeah, melt the snow, melt the comet.
But how would we do it? Like, Tony, what do you do? How do you melt mountain snow?
Heat lamps.
Yeah, you got to warm things up.
Well, why don't we do
Ron's
one step
absolutely
further? Why don't we melt the rock, into molten lava?
All right, so you'd have lava coming into a lake and evaporating the river, the water
just
that we're
melt
trying
it
to
all,
keep in
Jay.
there.
So instead of a waterfalls, we have a lava
Falls, right.
lava flow
And that
falls.
would certainly melt the ice.
You'd have to change the name. I think you can't.
Nilava
Molten
Falls.
Falls.
Nilava Falls.
Molten
You'd
falls.
bring
Night
probably
lava.
more people.
Yeah, but you got to do it right.
World's
so you gotta
largest lava lamp.
pass legislation and change the name, and
I don't think it's very safe.
it might take a while. I think we need to do something a little quicker, like bring comets. And granted, we've got to make sure that they don't hit the Earth at 26,000 miles an hour.
Right.
Magnets.
So we got to slow them down. Magnets. Maybe
Magnets.
big cushions, so they could hit the cushion instead
Maybe
of
they have a pillow drive.
right. Yeah, I think people would have used pillows that they'd be willing to donate or loan for that purpose.
But so what's this issue again? What was it?
Well, we're trying to generate more water, and we started by talking about, how Buffalo fans cry a lot. And
Right.
so one of our
19
listeners said
Super
that
Bowls,
we
4
should
losses.
have more teams here so that we can have more losses.
Well, we got a lot of losing. What do we got here? We got
Sabres.
Hockey, we got
got one winner.
baseball, lacrosse.
Lacrosse
Yeah,
won its
well,
championships.
yeah, that-
Not really professional anything, but it's. I mean, they say it is.
No one really.
Well, they pay them,
notices.
so
People watch it.
But,
People go there. It's
yeah.
just-
Just staring at the tallest building in Buffalo City makes me cry.
So
I really like lava falls. I really like. Let's do that. Let's like
you
just
think the
melt
lava?
things. Have lava go
melt
around.
things. So I think you gotta hit 2,000 degrees Celsius to melt like rock and silica and stuff.
I
to
only
make
know
it flow.
Fahrenheit, Tony.
Well,
yeah.
Would heat lamps be able to accomplish that?
Maybe lava lamps, because those melt lava. So
Well, no, you need electricity, so they're counting on the lava going over the falls, generating the electricity to melt the rocks, to get more lava to come over the falls and have this kind of
But I mean, wouldn't
circle.
let's just think
cycle.
about this psycho circle, Jay. Wouldn't like the lava going like melting, going over the falls, start melting the rock below? Like it's not. You have this cliff, right? And then the lava goes over it in Niagara Falls.
There's a cliff.
Like where the water used to go off. Now lava's
There's a
gonna go
cliff there.
there. Well, I mean,
Like,
it's at the top.
when was there a cliff? Did someone
Bring up the.
When did someone build this? I mean, no one told me there's a cliff there.
Well, I mean, when you see the falls, the water's on top, Jay, and then it falls off and goes to the bottom. They call that a cliff.
under the water. Yeah.
But my point, Jay, is not that at all about the water. My point is, if you had lava, it went over the cliff. Yes, there's a cliff. It would melt the stone below it, and it sooner or later would just be kind of like a ramp of lava. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it, Tony? It couldn't handle
Kind of
the-
like a lava slide, maybe.
I would say
All right.
so.
Okay, but that brings up the problem. Why doesn't, whenever a volcano explodes, why doesn't it just like melt down to the Earth's core immediately?
Jake says to turn the sun up. That would heat up that same effect.
Well,
I think
you'd
you-
have to find the turning knob.
Thermostat.
The thermostat. You have to.
Well,
Turning knob.
I
like
think
that.
it's right now orbiting Pluto. You'd have to get there. Have Voyager. Jump
Voyager?
out. Yeah, Voyager. Jump
Voyager
out.
1 or 2.
3. Have it jump out.
Yeah, you have to
Oh,
have a
of-
third one.
Voyager, there was it?
Have it jump out of its little cockpit and run over. Turn it up. What would be a good Fahrenheit?
The surface of the sun's like 1,000,000 degrees or something. So
Yeah, so to
Some
be
of
safe,
that,
go
maybe.
with it 2 million and make it bright red and make it big.
I think if they just focused one of those sunspotty things directly to the falls area, then we wouldn't have to turn up the whole sun. Just
Tony, that gives me an idea. Why
Yeah.
not they construct A giant magnifying glass.
Who's they?
THEY.
Oh, go on.
As I was saying, why don't they construct a giant magnifying lens, put it in front of the sun, and have it angled in on one part of the world, and have that melt?
I'm not sure.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Jay, you've been awfully quiet. I don't know what you're thinking. I'd like to know what's on your mind.
I was going to get next set of issues. But
All right, let's do that.
I'd like to call these our New York State update.
New York State update.
No.
All right, Mike, what are they passing now? What do we need to be
Jay,
aware of?
last time we talked, they're going to get rid of all the water in New York State.
Yeah.
This time, Hochul's come up with the idea to limit movement and breathing. Limit movement and breathing.
All right,
So that to reduce the carbon footprint of each human being.
So am I
Doing too much. You're doing too much, Jay. Stop. Go slower. Move slower. Yeah. No. Don't even move. In fact, don't move.
What?
Now. Limit your breathing. Maybe hold your breath. No. Too much. Too loud. Limit your breathing.
It's not relaxing. I mean,
It's not supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. Because climate change, Jay. We all have to be uncomfortable.
What if?
And we can make you more uncomfortable. You're definitely helping climate change.
Everybody needs a sacrifice.
What if there's no climate change? What if?
Well, we're banking on that there is, and Hochul's banking on that there is, and so you need to limit your breathing. So Jay, what kind of activities could you do? Like what kind of things could you do to limit your activity? Like what do you do in a normal day, Jay?
I kind of get up in the morning and then,
Too much. Slow down, Jay.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Okay, so
Slow
if
down.
so if I need to get
Wait, you know how you're changing your like you say wait, wasting energy. Just say what you want to say.
okay,
So you wake up,
if
you
I
open your eyes. Maybe start there. Don't open your eyes.
Okay, open your eyes is okay. I mean, because you need to limit your energy output.
Yeah.
So if you don't open your eyes, you might be bouncing around, wasting energy. You probably that's an acceptable activity.
so
Open
you
your
can't
eyes.
open your eyes.
Oh, good.
And then, if I want to walk or get dressed,
Don't do it.
okay, but I need to kind of get dressed to go outside and get in my car. And
Hochul suggests that you just stay dressed. Don't change. Don't shower.
so go to bed dressed.
and just stay in those clothes.
You save
Okay.
time. You save energy. You save water because you don't have to wash those clothes.
That's right.
Wait, you're telling me that I have to stay in the same clothes I am in
Like you do normally every day.
Yeah.
for the rest of my life?
Rest of your life. Yep. Probably eternity too, because you're
Is-
probably going to be buried.
Is
in
there
it.
going to be any punishments for
Isn't that a punishment at all?
No, like finding burping or
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, just limit what you're doing. Let's all take part in this, reaching out across the aisle, Jay. I mean, what other things do you do, Jay, in a day? Like what other activities do you enjoy doing?
Well,
Just pick one thing, Jay.
Just eat.
Okay, so again, eating, way too much energy. You're eating energy. You're someone else produced energy. You're a huge carbon footprint.
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to grow that food, and somebody's got to pick that food, and then somebody's got to drive it to, way out here, and then, you've got to eat it. Those are a lot of steps.
Okay. All right.
It's
so-
better if you just didn't eat at all, Jay.
Okay, fair enough. I have a picture. Like, can we go to this? Because I just want to.
Yes.
Bring this up.
Yes, I've seen this picture before. All
All right, this kid's playing soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this kid doing
He's
wrong?
breathing.
What's he doing wrong?
Breathing too much.
oh, I thought that was vape.
He shouldn't be. No, he shouldn't be running, or he should. Actually, what he's doing right there, just there sitting. Like if you move the air, just arms on.
So
That's it.
standing's
Just stay
good,
there.
right?
No, using too
No?
much energy standing. But the fact that he realized it, he realized he just really did too much,
All right, so he's holding his breath right now,
and his hips too.
and his hips, and he, I mean, Rowan brings up a good point. What if he's vaping? Is that better?
He's
Maybe?
not vaping. That's just the backlight. He's
I
breathing.
think he's vaping.
Okay, obviously you
Kids
can't
vape. A lot of kids vape
Yeah, I'm not for that.
nowadays, Mike. So
I'm not for
I
that.
just like they vape before soccer.
It's horrible.
It's good for them.
It's not good for
whatever.
him.
I don't.
My
that's what I
point is,
heard.
Jay, you got to limit. Let's think about things. Like I like soccer, I like chess, I like karate, guitar. No, none of it. Tony, what do you like?
Nothing anymore. I mean, I just trying to not like anything because anything
Right.
I like
Mm-hmm.
kind of ruins it.
You know what, Tony? That's true. I want to say something here. You know, like we're obviously wasting a lot of energy breathing and talking on the show, but you know, we know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. You know, we clearly are in the know, so everyone else has to change their ways. You know, it's kind of like a politician. You know, who takes a jet to a a conference on the environment, same environment. They know what they're doing. They can do it because it's okay for them because they know, Jay.
So,
what I'm
so they're going to write some exceptions into the legislation.
Anybody obviously politicians are going to be an exception because they need to be able to make these laws to limit us.
What about like doctors, nurses?
Doctor Who?
No, I mean like.
Do you know about Doctor Who?
I know about Dr. Seuss.
No, Doctor too young. Yeah.
So are they both? Are they both?
The porta potty guy?
What?
He goes in the porta potty.
It's not.
It's
It's
bigger
no. It's a
inside.
phone booth. You have no idea what a phone booth is, do you?
No.
It's the thing that takes your garbage.
No, it's a cell phone. No. My point. So, anyways, do you understand what I'm saying, Jay? Do you understand how serious this is?
I see it. I see how Tony's altered his lifestyle. Like he normally doesn't move. Like all that's moving
He
is
doesn't
his
move a lot.
chin.
Yeah. Pretty much
And
for
that's
the last
probably
20
expending the
years.
least amount of energy. He was over at my house the other day, and he just sat and didn't say really anything. It was a real boring time.
Yeah.
We just sat and just stared. And about,
Did you stare, Jay? Did you stare at each other, or did you stare Did you stare off? Did you stare at each other? Because might do that right now, Jay. Just practice real quick. Look over to Tony. Tony, look over to Jay. Careful. Don't move so fast, okay? Tony, turn towards Jay and look slow. See how Tony did that? He really did that slow, methodically. He's not even breathing. Look at that. Look at that movement back. Jay, you got to work on it, And Hochul's has some diagrams. She's setting out diagrams of what to do. Kind
Yeah.
of like when they had the masks.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, they've spent a lot of time and energy putting up documents and support materials to teach us how to not do things.
this is the new ergonomics, right? Tony used to teach ergonomics, right?
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
to.
Jay, it's not paper. You're not folding paper, okay?
Okay. So all right. So
It's not
you're-
origami, Jay, okay?
It's not really what I was trying to not have anything to do. I mean, so you what do you do?
Yeah, so you the key is that you've got to find a very comfortable chair, one that allows you to not move, and then you sit in that chair, and then you don't move.
Right.
So there's lots of, and if you're not sure, there's videos. You can call a counselor. There's trainers that the state will provide. They'll come out and show you how to do that. They'll fly out there, fly out to your.
Fly? Will they fly, Tony? Come on. See, are these some of the exceptions?
Well, yeah. I mean, they
Flying.
need to. These are the experts, so we need to get them
We need to
from
let them do those things.
from Albany
They
to
glide,
come
like,
out.
you,
But-
like get them up high, like maybe fly them up high, and then they let them glide, and they glide in that circle, and they slowly come down.
Yeah.
Like the gliders
Spiral.
used to do in the 70s. They used to come down.
Yeah.
And then they'd show you what to do, and then they get in their planes and their jets and they fly back. Yeah.
Back to my original question. What about the doctors, the hospital doctors, what are they called?
General Hospital?
No, important people, frontline.
President?
No.
That would be your
COVID.
emergency response
No,
personnel.
Like, you can,
Like Squad 51,
No.
those guys.
Yeah,
You know,
Station
they're-
Rampart.
Chips?
no.
Dukes of Hazzard?
First responders. Yes.
Knight Rider?
First responders.
Airwolf?
I was actually thinking more
A-Team?
A-Team. I was thinking
A-Team.
A-Team. Good.
Okay.
That's very good.
Battlestar Galactica, the original, not the redo?
I like Battlestar Galactica. Star Trek's better.
Oh, I love Star Trek.
If you just joined us, you're watching Issuenight talk about important, serious educational, legislative updates, and which is my mouse? Is this it?
Sure.
Okay. So, sorry, trying to get to it. This one. Last set of issues we'd like to get to is what we call our university update, like to let prospective college students what's going on. And this year it's new. They have a degree. You can now get degrees for existing. So, you know, a little bit of a challenge for some, but others, I think they can do it.
A
And you
degree
can
for
earn
existing.
Yeah. So if you exist, you fulfill, you can exist for how many credit hours, Tony? Is it?
Well, I think like a standard 4-year degree, you'd have to exist for 4 years, and advanced degrees, you would need more credits, and
You'd have to exist for like 8 years and 2 years for your doctorate. 10 years total existence.
yeah, I mean it varies by state and so on, but
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
You'd have to
Don't-
raise your
yeah.
hand.
Right. Sorry. Does this help you with anything? Any jobs?
Well,
Anything at all?
yeah, I mean you put it on your resume if you get a degree, right?
Well, yeah, but like, is there a job that's like, you need this degree?
Well, you need to exist really to have any job. So I think every job, you know, that you.
But I mean, like, when you're working for a degree, you're focusing on that degree because you have a dream job in mind. When people are working for this degree, what job do they have in mind?
Well, I mean, it really goes along with our last issue to Buffalo Lifesavers point. Can I exist at home on my couch? Yeah, that actually is a good way of doing it because you can conserve energy, not breathe a lot,
True.
but still exist and get a degree. I mean,
And,
it
so-
and
sounds
it's
like
an online
a
degree. so
win,
it's on your
win,
couch.
win, win, win,
It's a win.
Okay.
win.
So this is an online degree, but how do we know she's existing? She's saying, I'm trying to get this degree on my couch.
Yeah.
I'm existing.
So-
you know, for all as I know,
Yeah.
she's dead. She typed that in maybe a year ago. She's her carcass is just kind of rotting.
She's
and just
sedimentary. You don't know. She's just sedimentary. She's not trying to do anything. She's sitting.
So she's turning the rock. Is that what you're saying? She's sedimentary, like fossilizing.
No,
That's what
sedimentary is actually layers of sediment. When you have sediment layer, that's how they.
So
rock
she's
is
been
built.
in there that long, where she's
No, she's
part
just
of the
sitting
layer?
there like sedimentary rock. She's not
No.
sedimentary rock.
Well,
Not being
cemeteries
literal.
is where you would go if you did pass on. So
Oh, sediment.
Yeah.
All right,
sediment.
so
It's
Tony,
cement.
how do we know that Buffalo Lifesavers is still alive? How do we?
Yeah.
She's
how
typing.
does she prove
She's typing right now.
existing?
yeah,
She's typing.
So every so often, the program sends out a signal, and then she's got to type
What are you
her
doing,
name
Dave?
or whatever code.
Oh,
There's
she's
a
got
code,
to click
She's
on
gotta
like the
reply.
bumblebee, like click
That's
all
right.
the pictures that are the bumblebee.
or the
Right.
bus
Or-
or the off ramp or
What are we
the
talking about? Oh,
the sign, the speed
Bumblebee.
limit sign.
Sometimes it's hard to tell like what the letters are. Like it says what, like type in the letters you see, and it looks like an R, but it's really
Is
an
that like
A.
The eyesight test, Jay? Are we talking
No,
about the eyesight test?
it's when you have to prove you're there. You're not a bot, and you're a person.
Oh, I see. The gotcha.
and,
The captcha, gotcha.
And then sometimes it's like Niagara Falls. But if you haven't been to Niagara Falls, how do you know if that's Niagara or some other falls, or if it's been transformed into a lava falls? So it is tricky. I mean, they definitely try and fool you, I think. So you have to pass, whatever it is, or you can answer the phone or say your name into the phone, and there's a lot of ways we can make sure she's still alive.
Yeah, but I mean, you could train your parakeet to do that, Tony. I mean, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean they've got special software that tests for parakeet voices and parakeet mimicking and so on. So there's some pretty high tech stuff out there, advanced artificial intelligence, Snapchat or whatever that chat stuff is.
Is there gonna be, like,
Yeah.
And more so, yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, really.
so we have a picture of these are people who graduated with
yeah, we
existing
do.
degrees.
So
I did it.
You got to play. All right.
So
I did it.
we're not hearing from this person they did it. So again, this person could be dead. They could be just sitting there. This could be a block of wood underneath there. Like, this is where we're kind of, they're trying to prove they exist, but in a way there's skepticism, right? I mean,
No, Jay, actually, what this means, Jay, is ID it. So they're not really, it's not I did it. ID it. Like they want
They want to know.
They want
to know.
identification. They want
yeah,
identified.
They're still trying to get
Is this
the
like,
person to respond.
Is
to
this,
something.
is this like an Uncle Sam? I want you. It's ID it. Is that their new slogan? Like, we want you to identify yourself.
No, we just want to identify that person who's there on the couch that may or may not be
It's
alive.
funny. Without my glasses, it looks like it says Dad 17, so I assumed he graduated.
You clearly need an eye
17,
test,
yeah.
Tony.
Better.
Okay. So, all right. So I see someone with the yellow kind of ribbon around their neck. That looks like a master's degree. What do you do with a master's degree in existing? Like, what can you do with that?
You can you can get a job.
You can
really.
become an exorcist.
I mean, if you got the job, Jay, after getting the degree, then you'd have a job. And
Yeah, I mean, you. Back to my earlier point. If you don't exist, you're. I mean, that seems to like it's the number one qualification for any job.
yes. And it is interesting, Tony, that
Yeah.
if you have a job, you even exist. You exist in that job, and then before that, you existed. And you got the degree.
Pre-existence.
Tony,
yeah.
I would just like to point
I don't
out
get too
one
deep here.
major, blatant, smack dab, looking you in the eye,
Yeah.
right there in front of your face, hole in this whole thing.
Okay.
Wouldn't you existing be enough proof for you don't need a degree or anything? You're just there.
But if it's not documented, did it
Yeah.
really happen? I mean, how are you
Yes.
going to prove? I mean, now you've got documentation.
And also, you need to get a job. You have to have a degree. Like most jobs,
Well-
to get raises, and you need to have the degree.
I think the documentation comes from filing out your first credit card or like all that stuff that goes into your
That's
life.
not how it works, son.
No, yeah. So
Son.
you're just trying to say you get the degree and you're proving like, hey, I can do this job because I just proved I can exist.
No, Jay.
So
I did it. No, I it, Jay.
okay. So I can prove I can present ID that qualifies me for this job,
Yeah.
and I proved for 4 years I existed. That's showing someone like you're going to do this job. You're going to be able to. You're going to show up. You're going to exist, and you're going to
Right.
you're going to be there, whether or not you can do the job or not. You're going to be existing in that facility.
Yeah, and it's interesting that I see the comments. Pearl, he did it. And Pearl's asking, "Did you do it?" Yeah. President Biden. That's one of the reasons why he wants free education, so that those who exist have degrees. And it should be free. It should be free.
Yeah, it's an admirable goal to help everybody get, degrees and education.
I mean, really, you just have to mail it in. Don't even. You should auto mail these degrees to people. Like as soon as you turn age of school level, high school, college, you should be automatically, mailing these things out.
Automatically enrolled, automatic degree after 4 years. Now, my question is, the PhDs. So you get a PhD so you can teach other people how to exist. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all we have. We like to thank everyone for joining us. Everyone on the live stream, appreciate your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and don't forget to join us for another edition of Issuenight.